Hey guys, how you guys doing? It's July 18th, 2019. Hoping you're having a wonderful day, a blessed day indeed. A couple things I want to talk about this morning. Let's first get some small things out of the way. Small, I say small, they're big, but some small updates. All right, there is no relief between the tension of the United States of America and Turkey after the whole F-35 S-400 row that's going on. All right. And I've stated for a long time that, Turkey and the U.S. are just not allies, okay? Turkey does not belong in NATO. I mean, I remember it was about a year and a half ago, maybe even 2 years ago, that NATO they were having this drill with, all these different countries had troops come up. They had military drills. And Erdogan's face was plastered as the enemy. Now, they said that was a mistake, but I don't know if that was a mistake or not. But it did not. The Turkish soldiers were not happy about it. The Turkish military was not happy about it. And Erdogan was not happy about it. And ever since his failed false flag coup attempt, where he actually wasn't failed at all. It was a success for him. Because it was a power grab, all right? That was a false flag coup that he used to throw all of his opposition into jail and also give himself more constitutional powers in his country, all right? So Turkey and the U.S., they are not allies, okay? Turkey and NATO, not allies. I don't believe that Turkey will survive in NATO for much longer. I think in the next couple of years we're going to see that Turkey either leaves willingly from NATO or is kicked out. Okay, South Korea and U.S. drills will continue on as scheduled. As of right now, we don't have any hard dates of when that will actually occur, but after the threat from Kim Jong-un and the North Koreans about rethinking nuclear and missile tests if these drills go through, South Korean officials have come out and stated that, hey, we're not stopping these drills. They're still going to happen. They're still going to occur. If North Korea decides that they need to start missile tests and nuclear tests because of this, that's on them, okay? And then this morning, big news this morning, and something we've talked about for the past few days, all right? We've talked about the last few days about this missing tanker, okay? So over the weekend, we heard about this missing tanker. I think it's flagged from Panama, but it looks like it's going through a bunch of shell companies. It's kind of weird, honestly. A lot of people who are usually very good about finding these ships, finding their point of origin, what they're used for, they were perplexed by this tanker, and a lot of people have pointed to maybe this tanker had some connections towards Halliburton. Some people said connections to the UK. Some people saying it could have been smuggling some things. All right, but story goes that Iran heard a distress signal from this tanker. Now, U.S. intelligence is stating and telling us that there was no distress signal whatsoever, that they just seized this ship. Iran said, hey, we didn't seize the ship. There was a distress signal. We went out. We helped them. We're still helping them. That was the word yesterday morning. Well, I woke up this morning to Iran. Iran came out, stated that they have, in fact, seized this tanker. They said that they were helping this tanker, but then found out that there was smuggled goods on this tanker, and so they decided to smuggle the tanker, okay? And I believe it's a smaller tanker. I think it holds about 1 million liters, they said. The crew was only about 12 people, all right? But now you see the mainstream media is catching up, okay? This is days later. They are finally catching up about this missing tanker, and now Iran supposedly seizing this tanker. Now we all believe now that this seized tanker is the one that was missing from this weekend. Okay, Iran's not really giving any more information other than there was smuggled goods on this tanker, and that's the reason why they seized it. The UK came out and stated that they're investigating the situation. U.S. intelligence obviously has been looking into the situation. It's kind of weird for the UK to come out and say that they're investigating it. It may lean towards maybe there are links to the UK with this tanker. We're gonna have to wait and see. But this is just another situation that's just not helping tensions in the Middle East. Okay. Also, yesterday we found out the U.S. is sending hundreds of more troops to the Middle East. They talked about this a while back, sending more troops, right? And they didn't disclose what locations those troops would go to. Okay. Now we're learning that I believe around 500 will go to a air base in Saudi Arabia. This is somewhere that they're going to be able to launch F-22s and other stealth aircraft from. It just, when you hear 500, you're like, okay, a war's not coming. That's not a lot of people. But CENTCOM has been beefing up for months now over there. And so we do have a lot of military personnel in that region, and we have, more importantly, a whole lot of military aircraft and hardware in that region. Okay, so this is a situation that could get far worse before it gets better. Every time we hear about talks, the U.S. saying, oh, Iran, they're ready to talk about missile programs. No, they're not. Iran, they have a plain and simple stance. End sanctions, sanctions relief, and we will talk. It's kind of like North Korea, right? North Korea was brought to the table, and they were brought to the table for their own benefit. Even if there wasn't sanctions relief, they knew that they got their face on the international stage. They didn't have to agree to anything. They could have the same stance as Iran and say, hey, we're not going to agree to anything as long as there's sanctions going on and placed on to our country. Well, Iran's around the same thing, but they don't need that international propaganda. They're a bigger country than North Korea. They're more important in their region than North Korea is, and it's easy to compare them because it's all about the nuclear weapons, but it's also not so easy to compare them because they're two different ideologies. Okay, so Iran's got a plain and simple stance: end sanctions, and we will deal. We will talk. Now it's up to the U.S. and its Western allies to end those sanctions and start those talks. The thing is, the U.S. doesn't seem like they want to end sanctions whatsoever. Okay, they want concessions before sanctions are lifted. All right, and this is where we have a deadlock. All right, we're at a crossroads. So I do think that things will get far worse before they get better. If we're going to learn more about this tanker over the next 2 days. All right, so as more information comes out, I'll let you guys know. We'll discuss it. All right, it's a beautiful day. It's going to be, I think, like 96 degrees today. It's not going to be fun to be outside. Taking my kid to the amusement park. Me and my fiance are taking our son to the amusement park later today, and it's going to be real fun. He's going to have a good time. He's a young kid, and he is not afraid of roller coasters, and it's fantastic. I love that. I can't believe it. I mean, there's one ride that he rode that had like 2 loops, a couple corkscrews, and I was like, he's just tall enough. He's very tall for his age, but he's just tall enough. He's a young kid, and I was like, oh, he's gonna be scared of this. He doesn't want to do it. And we took him a couple weeks ago, and he rode it for the first time. And I think I rode this ride when I was like 10 the first time, and he's younger than that. And man, he just really enjoyed it. So it's gonna be hot out there, but it's gonna be worth it. Spending time with family, grabbing some beers, saying some prayers, keeping our eyes to the skies as we go up that roller coaster, and then eyes back down, then eyes back. It's gonna be great, guys. All right. So you have a blessed day. Grab a beer, say a few prayers, and as always, keep your